First impressions are everything. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a few simple steps to make sure that your body language is going to create a strong first impression. Interviewing or even having a casual meeting with someone in a networking setting, if you're in a position where you're trying to appeal yourself and you're appealing yourself to someone who has the power to progress you to the next step, or not for something that you're interested in and pursuing, it can be kind of like stepping out of your house on a cold winter morning where there is ice on the pavement and you can't see it. You step out to go and clean the ice off your car or something, and suddenly you find yourself slipping and sliding down the slope. So these steps, while very practical and seemingly minor, are going to be things you want to be very self-aware of, so that you can ace your interviews by creating that strong first impression that's going to help make your confidence rise and the rest of the time you spend with that person more at ease and smooth. So body language, it's really important to be aware of your body language, starting with good eye contact. Okay, when nervous, some people tend to look around because they're anxious, and especially if the interviewer, the person they're meeting, is intimidating, it can be easy for their eyes to gaze around the room or constantly be looking down at their business card, and that can create tension and hinder your ability to be yourself in the interview. So while it's not good to have too much eye contact and constantly stare into the person's eyes without moving away and blinking, it is good to anchor your eyes to their eyes. And of course, as you're explaining things or reflecting on something or telling some story, of course, you can let your eyes wander, be natural, but anchor them back to the interviewer's eyes constantly, so that there's that constant connection, and so that you are speaking from your heart to their heart and being genuine and authentic. A soft smile as well. You don't want to be cold like this, because that can dampen the vibe of the interview. But at the same time, you don't want to have a big smile like this and be overjoyed to be there in the interview. So having a soft smile and that, rises and falls a bit when serious, can give a very balanced ambiance to how you present yourself. And of course, be natural, but do be aware of not smiling enough and smiling too much, because it can make the difference between how you are perceived and the impression that you make. Gentle nodding as well. So you don't want to be nodding your head like this, yeah, because that can signal that you have mannerisms that are uncontrolled, or that you are not self-aware of those mannerisms. That can create subconscious concerns about how then you're going to behave around the office and in a professional setting, and have tics and things like that might make your presence a little abrasive to others, especially if it's an executive environment that you're applying to. So being self-aware of your eye contact, having a soft smile that rises and falls naturally with the tone of the conversation, and gentle nodding to show that you're acknowledging, but doing so gracefully and not over the top, or being frozen and not absorbing what is being said when the speaker or interviewer is making a point that should be acknowledged and should be taken seriously. Neutral dress code. So it can be a little difficult to predict the culture of the company. It really comes down to the individual. Some individuals have a much more formal style of presentation and wear a tie, or may have just come from an important meeting and they're a little bit more dressed up than usual. And other individuals may be working at home for the day. They may be in their pajamas, at least on the bottom, maybe not on the top. But, it's post-COVID life. This is the new normal. So it's not something that needs to be taken too seriously. But my recommendation would always to have a neutral dress code. And what that means is it's not too formal, having a tie and cufflinks and so on, but having a collared shirt with no tie is the way to go. Having a jacket, great, just to be on the safe side, not necessary, especially if you're in a hotter climate where perhaps even a collared polo shirt could be acceptable, then that's fine. And again, having a tie can, if you're in an industry like I suppose, investment banking or something like that, where ties are, it's still very much a formal attire sort of environment, then use your own judgment for that kind of thing. But my opinion is, and my observation is, the ties are really not needed anymore. But having a collared shirt and optionally a jacket can be a very good choice to be neutral and show respect for who you're meeting without being over the top or too formal. Okay?